Well, doing a video in regards to response to Bob Greener's video on the metal samples. Hi, I thought I'd wear my Marjorie hair.
Hi, it's Margareta.
Well, okay, let's talk. The effects. I'm gonna try and figure something out here. And the effects were first seen by myself, metal effects, that is. Then by Bill Ross and Mel Winfield, who took photographs of such things as a floating P38 handgun pistol and some other pieces of stuff. Those photographs, I think, were published in Nexus magazine or something like that. Okay, so this went on. A CBC reporter saw it by accident. It was a story follow up on the gun control cases that I was through. That would be 81, maybe 80. I don't know. I forget. But anyway, then I met Alex Pizarro, who was witness to a number of effects. And then George Hathaway, who then filmed one of the major effects. I'm not sure what else he filmed, but I have the video because Ian Gazda demanded the video. However, George and George had come to Vancouver a day or so, go back to Toronto. I was mostly working with Alex Pizarro. Most of the major effects happened in Lynn Valley, North Vancouver, 1458 East 29th Street, Lynn Valley, North Vancouver. Later than 3744 East Hastings Street was the big lab where a lot of things happened there. That's where the Canadian government folks showed up. BCTV, Alan Edwards, 6 o'clock news, that's on the internet. CKView Television, CBC Television, Point of View Film Productions, George Jack Houck at McDonnell Douglas Aerospace. I have his video. Of course, Canadian government, Dr. Kuhn, Andres Puharich, a bunch of others. Roland Brito, Petra from Germany, and others showed up, took photographs, and filmed. I hear somebody walking around doing a video. Okay. Anyway, that was in that location. 3744 East Hastings Street, Vancouver, British Columbia. Then I moved to the Murchie's Tea Building, which is 560 Canby Street, Vancouver, across from Dr. P.T., not Dr., but Papa's Fur Company. I was setting up and was doing some tests. There's a video of that particular lab, 1987 time frame. I was about 6 months into doing weird stuff, let's say. I don't think there's much video on that. The CBC did a story with Alex Pizarro on that whole situation. I had to move from there, so that's when I met Alec and George Lissicase of Pinnacle Oil International, or X-Energy Corporation. Resumed quickly to Kingsway and 13th Street, where the field stress detector was developed. I made George Lissicase, I don't know, $7 million. Anyway, a lot of weird things happened there. Alec will confirm that's Alec Sharashevsky, a friend of mine. We were all partners. There was a BC Supreme Court case, and a lot of the metal samples were made there. I've actually seen on old black and white video. If you want to check that out, it's uploaded on Nancy Lazar-Yan Hutchison's website. A couple of months ago, it was uploaded. Nobody knows about it. Like 100 other videos I have, nobody knows. So I'm saying a lot of this stuff was captured on video, a lot of it wasn't. Most of it wasn't captured on video or film, or however you want to call it that. But a lot was. So the effects and metal samples you were talking about happened in time frame of 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, I was off in Germany, returned. That's when the whole events happened with the laboratory. Canadian government secretly built a PCB site in Surrey, British Columbia. I don't know why, but they did. I mean, the news, Vancouver Sun, carried the story, as well as the TV people. I don't know. It didn't. It was to be shipped to Germany, but it didn't happen. The container was sabotaged, and it wound up in the government's hands and all this stuff. I am sure that had nothing to do with what I was doing with all that. It might have had something to do with an environmental issue, maybe. I don't know. I just have Kowalski and companies, the lawyers that kept sending faxes to Germany with what was going on, and they would keep saying it's unbelievable what's happening, and this is happening, and that's happening. I mean, after all, George Lissa case wound up in hospital for 3 months when a transformer fell on him. He was also doing his own experiments in that place and got results. He did one with a transformer levitated up, I think it was an inch or so. I was there. I don't know if Alec remembers that, but it did happen. And why would a transformer go flying off a truck and slammed on George, almost killed him, put him in hospital 3 months. I mean, I was told that they had to call in mediums and psychics to help deal with whatever was going on in that place when I was in Europe. Anyway, so on and upward to what I call the warship redevelopment of the stuff I was doing, which was covered by many film people. Fox TV, and National Geographic TV and Film, History Channel, Beyond Productions, Beyond Invention. I just simply look up Beyond Invention with Peter von Puttkamer for Discovery Channel. 300 TV shows. That's counting the ones with the gun control case that I won in the RCMP officer that got fired. So anyway, after all this stuff, the samples were a little different in configuration in that apartment lab or the submarine apartment. And a lot of files, some steel bars, stainless steel bars, curled up. Art Bell got some samples. Steven Seagal, a friend of mine, actor, fellow, got samples. Dennis Kucinich got samples. So I was giving these samples away like there's no tomorrow, actually. I mailed them off. A lot of them didn't make it. I don't know why. I met Dennis Kucinich 2006, sent him samples, but he never got them. He's a U.S. congressman guy. Who else? A lot of samples I would give away everywhere I went. Dennis Weaver. Who else? They're all over the place. So I put out some years ago a letter to folks who did return, a bunch of them. And that's why then I thought I'll put them on eBay, sell them, and see what happens just for the fun. Because what am I going to do with them? Nothing. I'm going to sit around and collect dust, so I can't use them for machining purposes. They're useless. So they did sell on eBay. I still have maybe 100 pounds left of metal samples on eBay to get rid of and sell off. And so maybe somebody will, spread the info sort of thing. But, however, in New Westminster, British Columbia, Mayor M. Wright and Fire Marshal, we're getting complaints of things happening in other people's apartments. Ornaments melting is right on the news. If you look up Carla P. Conniption, you'll see the news story. Or even my YouTube channel. then it was written up and mysterious this and that. I have all the letters from the engineers and that too, so I had to close down that particular place, which I did do, but I just did sneaky things like do a few minor little things with the apparatus I had. I was supposed to get rid of it all, and I wasn't allowed to put it in storage. Get this. Luckily, I had somebody came out of the blue, a lawyer who did all this stuff for free, and told the fire marshal, "We're not going to comply. We'll make it easy for you to move around in here," which we did too. So a lot of stuff went to Can-Am Imports. Paul Pincott, friend of Michael McCardle, longtime journalist friend of mine. So other things, and then by that time, oh my goodness, a long story, I'm telling you.
Wow.
So I spent some time in Scottsdale, Arizona. I met Helena, married her, divorced her real quick because she tried to make me into something I'm not. Okay. Oh my goodness. 2007, did a History Channel, did one with Dr. Ludwig, who filmed a lot of stuff. Thurston Ludwig. History Channel. Oh, Polar Shift Film Productions. Plus a bunch of other ones. A very busy year, 2007, 2008. The end of, getting close to the end of 2008, that's when the fire marshal stuff started to happen. 2009, went off to Minnesota, roughly. 2010, decided to sell the entire laboratory. Germans bought it. But unfortunately, they bought it in a time when other people were buying up pieces of stuff like there's no tomorrow, so they only got about half of what that particular lab. What on earth did they pay for it? Only $50,000 for it. Bad. But they only got half of it because most of the others, people were coming and getting stuff, and I was going to go to the Gulf of Mexico. Anyway, those metal samples that you have there, Bob, have quite a bit of history, I guess, in different locations, and have a couple of buyers that have a huge collection of them. One is in Scotland, Michelle Harte, Harte, and the other fellow is in California, and we know who he is, I think. And he's lucky to have such a good collection. So besides, I needed earth currency to buy stuff and get rid of the samples. So what these samples will tell you, Bob, and others, I don't know. They'll be quite interesting. I don't know if there's any merits in scientific usefulness in all that stuff. Steve Colburn did some analysis, which I sent you a link to and made a video on the Steve Colburn stuff. I did trade samples with George Hathaway in about 2000 up to 2005. Made a trade for a big, heavy universal indexing head, and which I mentioned in the other video, and it came in a nice box and all that. So I did a lot of trading with the samples at George and others. So anyhow, appreciate everybody's interest in this, and I have no idea what applications there might be in this. I keep Major Peter Garrettson informed. He liked the video George Hathaway did, and if you can find it, let me know. It was called The Navigator, and it showed my effects, and patched in was the movie The Navigator. Compliance. So he wanted to know where that film was. I couldn't find it on YouTube, so maybe somebody else knows where The Navigator with me in it. Combined with George Hathaway's videos that George put together. for promotional purposes. It's an awesome video. I don't know if you folks ever seen it, about liquid metal, flying anti-gravity stuff. But as I mentioned, Georgie, brilliant scientist. I didn't, let's say, compliance with anybody really on doing anything. It's not my job description. I turned down people. Oh, give me a laboratory in Toronto. The Prince Liechtenstein will fund it. He doesn't like publicity. So I'm going to be stuck in a lab somewhere doing something that I'd probably wind up hating in time. No, it doesn't work. I like my scrapyards, warships, guns, artillery, machine tools, wild, crazy encounters with women and other things. I was going to destroy it. Even turned down the U.S. Pentagon. I got the email. Yeah, I could have applied. Got funded to be a scientist, but I'm not in that. I said I'm flattered, but no thank you. Anyway, long story. It goes on and on
And on.
I don't have PK. Well, no, I don't. I don't think. Psychically, Georgie thinks I have PK. I never experienced it. The only thing I experience is being empathic, telepathic, feeling things that aren't, will happen later kind of thing, communicating with other people through their eyes and that kind of thing, but dynamics, stuff like psychokinetic energies, I don't think so. Although Jack Houck and I kept in contact, because I had psychic connections to people. I could actually see through their eyes and see where they're walking, and it became actually quite disturbing. And I wrote Jack Houck a letter, who he wrote back and suggested doing this and that. I still have the letter. But off topic. Anyway, thanks, Bob. That was an awesome video, and I hope that you make discoveries with it. And others make some kind of discovery with it. Maybe it's got some unique good stuff that could come out of doing that kind of process with metals. I don't know. All I know, my samples were my metals were kind of just wrecked. They were always bought from Capital Salvage, North Star Salvage, 770. Okay, that's North Star Salvage, 1170 Powell Street, Vancouver, British Columbia. MB Superior Metals with Mark. I'd haunt these places like there's no tomorrow. I haunt the Navy ships, the Artificial Reef Society. Worked on 4 warships for 5 years, taking them apart. I haunted Wesley Baker's military surplus, Dave's surplus gun shops. Haunted. I guess in my chaos mod electrical machinery that supplied a lot of the early stuff in the 70s to me. They're still around. Amex Salvage, an artillery piece I got. The 90mm M1 anti-aircraft flak gun. That was fun, taking that all apart and taking it back to my place. Unfortunately, I left the main part at the armory and somebody stole it. Who? I don't know. We have Dan Jan looking into the case. Old friends from the 70s, gun collector buddies. Somebody did write me an email about it, but what the heck, where would a 90mm anti-aircraft gun, somebody stole that, where did it wind up? A scrap heap, or somebody took it and put it in their garage somewhere? Wow, I'm still after that. I'm actually after that story, North Shore News, because somebody from Amex Salvage was killed while taking it apart. And the military said, oh no, we took all the springs out of it at the airport. No, they didn't. It was full of springs. We're speaking of roughly 4 to 5 feet long springs, a foot in diameter by inch in coil. Massive things. And the retainer pin was torched. 2/3 the way through was left, and I guess the gentleman went around in front of the bogey mount, the retainer pin, which is a very heavy piece, up to 3-inch steel with plate at the end, took off, broke the 1.5-inch steel bar that flew out, took his head off and hit the JP Fell Armory staircase, and took a chunk out of the stairs. It was a big event, but it's all buried now, and nobody knows anything. Really crazy. So if somebody can resurrect that, it'd be cool. Oh, that's all going on and on. But anyway, I'm really off-topic character when I talk, aren't I?
I know you are, Johnny.
Yeah, I'm just a nutcase. So anyway, how long is this one going to be now? Oh, it's long enough. So anyway, thanks, Bob. Take care, guys. Don't take it to wooden nickels. See you later.